Hello and welcome to Henry's Digital World. This tutorial is for you even if you are a complete beginner, a hobbyist, or someone who is just curious about how websites work. You are in the right place to build your skills and confidence. I am Henry and this video is part of my HTML tutorial series where we learn and create amazing web projects step by step. You can find all the code we write during these tutorials on my GitHub page as shown on the screen. If you would like to support this journey and help me create even better content, please feel free to show some love at seller.co/showlove/hdw. Don't forget to subscribe and follow me on YouTube for more coding tutorials at Code with Henry. Now let's dive into today's lesson and bring some awesome ideas to life. Welcome back everyone. The topic for today is HTML text basics. Previously in Earth Elements, we have learned a lot of things. We have learned a few things like paragraphs and headings. So the first thing I will do here is use an exclamation mark and tab to create a simple structure for HTML like we did before. So I'll paste an H1 to this that says this is a level 1 heading, level 6 heading. So we'll paste this and check, and we can see that H1 is the largest and H6 is the smallest. The next thing I will do is a simple paragraph, and a paragraph is just a piece. So inside the paragraph, I will say this is some text, and we can click the preview button to look at what the paragraph looks like, and that's it. There are a few things we can add for formatting, e.g. strong, emphasis, and mark. So I'll add the strong first, so strong, a tag for strong, and then I'll just type bold in between the tag, and the word bold will come off strong. I will increase the font size so we can see clearly using the pinch to zoom. We already have the word bold in between the tag that says strong. Oops, there's no space between bold and text, so let's just add the space and preview it. And there we have it. Okay, so the next one we'll do now is emphasis, just em for emphasis. I believe I'll just type the word italic in between. So it says this is some italic text. Let's preview what it looks like now. So em comes off italic, it just goes like an italic handwriting. So the next thing we'll do now is mark, mark for mark, and then we say highlighted, so it will say this is some highlighted text. And then we preview and it will have some sort of yellow highlight as we can see on the screen. Only the word highlighted is highlighted because the mark only surrounds highlighted. What if the mark surrounded highlighted and text at the same time? And then let's check. Highlighted and text are now both highlighted. So next thing, I would like to try combining all three of them: strong, emphasis, and mark. So I will clear what we already have on the screen, that is the paragraph. Okay, so I'm just going to clear the mark out, then type strong, yes, strong, and then sorry about that, I'm going to type emphasis, and then em for emphasis, and then inside that I'll type mark. So the text will be both important to catch your attention and it will also be highlighted. So important and highlighted text. So when you preview, it will come off strong, italic, and also highlighted all at the same time. The next thing we'll try is subscripts and superscripts. So I'll paste a paragraph in here quickly. H2O is water and Einstein's equation is E is equal to mc squared. Now we can see that our 2 is not even squared and our 2 in H2O is supposed to come down like it usually is in chemistry. So we'll remove the 2 and put it inside a tag called subscript. So it's just sub. So when you put that 2 inside the sub, it comes down like a subscript that it should be, and that other 2 in mc squared should be at the top, so it is mc squared, it is super superscript. So now let's preview it and see what it looks like. So it says H2O is water and Einstein's equation is mc squared. So what if you need to put Einstein's equation on the next line? All you have to do is just go in between H2O and Einstein's equation and just say BR. BR is a tag that's called line break. It's BR for break, and it just goes to the next line. Let's preview and see. So the next thing we can do is an HR, horizontal row. Although I would not advise you do this in between a paragraph, because yeah, can you see it's saying there is an unexpected closing tag? That's because HR cannot be in between a paragraph, so we'll probably have to use two different paragraphs for each of them. So I'll close the paragraph for water and make another paragraph for Einstein's equation, so they can be two different paragraphs with a line break in between them. But if there are two different paragraphs, you would not need the line break anymore. Well, I've already taught us the importance of BR. Now, can we see that simple line between it is HR that created it? But I would not like to use it in this context. So we'll learn a better use of it when we are creating a simple web page later in the future. Now we'll be working with keyboard inputs. I copied something here that says to save your file, use Ctrl S. Now KBD is a tag that's for things you want to use on the keyboard. So KBD will format the word control in some way, and also format the word S, the letter S, in some way. I would like it in all small letters. Okay, so I'll put it in all small letters, and let's see. Can we see both CTRL and S are formatted in in the same way, but different from the other things in the paragraph? And you might also have come across an error whereby maybe you use a particular word a lot of times and you don't really need that word. So I'm going to use P, a paragraph, to create I am a girl times 20. That's, I'm using MS, and just press tab and you'll say I'm a girl in 20 places. But the funny thing is, I'm not a girl, I'm a boy. So then I just click the search button and search girl, and then I click the other one that says replace and type boy. Then when you click this first button, it replaces the first one, the next one, and the next. But if you click that second one there, it replaces everything. Can you see the button I'm repeatedly clicking? You don't need to click it repeatedly, just click it once and it does everything. And everything says I am a boy already. Next thing we will learn is quotes and block quotes. Q for quotes, and I'll just say learning is fun. And then create a block quote that says, of course, learning is fun. Now, when we preview, we see that learning is fun is in quotes, and of course, learning is fun is like a description in front of it. Next thing we'll go on to do is HTML entities. HTML entities are a way to write HTML, some symbols in HTML without actually writing them. For example, greater than, just put the ampersand symbol, that's the and symbol, GT, and semicolon. Then we have LT for less than, we have copy for the copyright symbol, and AMP for the ampersand symbol, that's the and. Can we see greater than, less than, copyright symbol, and the ampersand symbol? Next thing I'll do is clear this out and use a tag called code. This code tag is used to show code on the web page. Okay, so I'll put a paragraph that says I'm learning HTML and this is an example of HTML code. Okay, talking about code, I'm not exactly applying any code in between the word code, but instead we'll use HTML entities to fix some kind of code. So less than for the opening tag, and then the h1, then a greater than. That's how it works, right? Remember that. Then I'll put hello world in between. That's an h1 that says hello world. Then now for the closing tag, we'll put our less than, and then the forward slash, and then the greater than. Okay, now let's preview what it looks like. Oops, we didn't put our h1 in between the closing tag, so I just type h1 there. Okay, so it says hello world in an h1 tag. So what we did was copy something like this, hello world, although we did not apply it to the web page. But as you can see, it says it has the greater than, less than, and the forward slashes. So it's imitating the opening and closing tag of it. So I'll clear this out and then also make and I'll do something else. Example, let's talk about my school. Okay, I'll say LASU and cut that out. Why? Because I'm going to use a tag called abbreviation. Then in the title attribute, you type the full meaning of whatever of the word you are using. So I use the word LASU. So the full meaning of LASU is Lagos State University. I would like that in small letters and not capital letters. Can we see? So if I were using cursor, if I were on desktop and I move my cursor to that LASU to display what LASU means, because I already typed it in between there. Now we'll be combining everything we learned to make a simple web page, in which I would not have to give much explanation because we have already done most of it. So before that, I'll open my file tray and try to copy our files like logo.png and style.css. But we already have it here, so I'll delete it and show you how I got it there. I duplicated it from lesson 2 so as not to start from our file manager again. So just long press lesson 3 and click insert file like I did. So I went to HTML tutorials, I went to that particular folder, then click lesson 2, and then click whichever file I wanted to import. I click logo.png, I click the logo HTML and brought it. Now insert file again into lesson 3 of course, and I click style.css. So we are here. We already have our CSS and our logo. So our logo will be at the top again. So I'll go back, I'll clear everything we've done, go to lesson 2, copy everything there, and close the file trays and paste everything into lesson 3 I mean. So we already have everything we need here, I guess. So let's just get started and start typing things. So I'll put an H2 that says I'm ready to learn HTML. Then I'll add an highlight to HTML. Then I'll simply change the order. I'll put this is my very first web page under I'm ready to learn HTML, because it makes sense that you are ready to learn HTML and then you have made your first web page. So the next thing I'll do is create an HR that will put a line in between hello world and the next H2. Remember, there should be only one H1 per page. So I'm going to put another H2 that says let me tell you how I, followed by a paragraph. We can see the paragraph right there. So I'll put spaces in between each of them, but instead I'll just do a BR so that it makes sense and they will each have a line break in between them. Okay, there's no need to put a line break on the third one because it's the end of the paragraph anyway. So I'm going to put 3 spaces. There's something we didn't talk about, NBSP. That's another HTML entity, is to put spaces in between tags. Can you see we already put 3 spaces? So it will actually kind of move it forward a bit, and I'll replace where the 3 dots are supposed to be and make crazy the font so that we can see properly again. Okay, now I will write down and add another horizontal row on the next line. Okay, so go to the next line again and say H2, under H2 that says a school in Lagos State University, and then just put an abbreviation tag for LASU, type Lagos State University as the title, and then put LASU in between the abbreviation to show that that's what the abbreviation stands for. So I want to put a bracket there, but instead I'll put it before the abbreviation so that the bracket is not part of the abbreviation, if you understand what I mean. So I'll save and we preview. Can we see I'm ready to learn HTML, highlighted. Let me tell you how I eat, sleep, and code at school in Lagos State University. Okay, so I'll just continue. The next thing I'll do is paste in 3 more paragraphs, and they will say things about Lagos State University, best state university in Nigeria, best ninth best university, and also a school in the Faculty of Management Sciences. So we're going to add some formatting again. So best state university would be strong. So I'll make sure it comes off strong, and I'll just paste what I cut right back in between. Then Nigeria's ninth best will also be highlighted, because I mean that's a really good thing, right? So instead of highlighted this time, instead of strong, I'll make sure it is highlighted. I'll put a mark. Okay, so the next one is emphasis. I'll put an emphasis for a school in the Faculty of Management Sciences. I'm sorry, I didn't do the mark properly before, so I'm going to type it again. Yes, I only typed mark. I did not make it a tag. It's just like a mark for, not a tag. Okay, I already did my mark very well. Already. Oh my god, this is definitely not what I want. There's a mistake somewhere. I'm going to do that mark properly first. Okay, then save, and then let's check again. It is still not the way I want it. That's too big. That's not what I heard that. Okay, let's check again. There must be some sort of error somewhere. Okay, there's no space between strong and in. Also, where's the error coming from? Um, we still don't see it. Okay. Oh, it is the H2. The H2 should not be. The H2 is just for Lagos State University, and we added everything in between the H2. Can you see? So the H2 should end where it's supposed to end, so as not to cause errors. We added other tags in between the H2. Can we see now? These words I wanted. Yeah, this is a better web page. Okay. I'm pasting in another H2 that says things we do not do in school, and do not comes off strong, and then jump from the second floor, no way. That's what the paragraph says. So I'm going to put jump from the second floor in quotes. So I'll cut the closing tag and put it at the end of the paragraph. That's before the paragraph ends. So I'm going to put no way in an emphasis tag to show that yes, no way, you should never do that. You should not jump from the second floor. Okay, can we see what it looks like? So I'm merely trying to use these different words for emphasis and to put different kind of formatting that we've learned in it. So we have maths and science notations as an H2. Then we can see H2O. 2 is a subscript and the other 2 is a superscript, like I taught you guys before, which I will not mention again. All right, so that there's an HR there to divide the web page. So you put as many HRs as you want, just make sure it makes sense. For me, I'm putting an HR before every H2 to show that this is a new subtopic. Now this is a code, something like what we did before, and then I added a paragraph at the bottom that this is my first web page. I used the pre to wrap it. The pre, it pre-formats the code to show that yes, this is a code. Remember I said code, we define it properly, but you can see pre even defines it better. So you use code, then still wrap everything in a tag called pre. So for keyboard input, this is exactly what we did the other time. H3 that says keyboard input, and to save your file, press this Control plus S. Okay, so that's a paragraph on its own, but we can see that the KBD is only on the keyboard input. That's the control and the S. So I'm putting another horizontal row, and I'm going to put a paragraph at the bottom for my name, sort of like a copyright page, and put that an emoji. You can put an emoji and you might not. Henry, then my first web page, double pipes before that, and I'm going to put a copyright symbol right before my name. So I'm going to use the hand copy, and oh, that's not showing properly. It's showing as a text. Oh, I put a space in between. So remember not to put spaces. Can we see the copyright symbol is displaying properly now? So this would be the end of this class. Leave your best part of this video in the comments, and I will be sure to feature it in my next video. Have a nice weekend.